Hello everyone and welcome back to Mag Mammal 3. So, continuing on with our playthrough, slowly but surely reaching the 50% mark, which means half of the game actually completed. But the hours are just adding up and it's getting to the point where we're going to reach three digits and then it's just gonna go onwards and upwards from there. So, we gave Wood 3 stages, some of them were a bit longer, so... Do we have any other costumes to buy? I feel like that may have been the last one. No, we have Sonic. And I think this is the last one. Then I've got my custom ones as well, of course. And still quite a bit to unlock. Well, one of them apparently is from that one stage with the mirror gimmick, but I haven't really messed around with it too much, so... Oh wow, yeah! Oh wow, you shoot rings? Well, that's kinda cool. Hey. Hey, the good old getting hit animation too. Nice job. Animations are great here, so what do we have for utilities? Oh, I was not expecting Supersonic. That... I honestly thought I could fly. For a second thought the one... If you've played Brawl and used Sonic's Final Smash, then you know what I would have expected. I thought I would be able to just fly at ludicrous speeds across the floor, but air, but that didn't quite happen. Tails makes sense. And Knuckles makes so much sense, that's perfect. So, onwards we go back to tier 8. That's not tier 8. That's tier 8. Okay, Glassman, I don't know what happened, but sure. Thanks for the border unlock. Guess we'll check it out in the next episode. Or next recording session. Also this, I don't know what I'm meant to do here. How do I still haven't unlocked any. Is it because I just haven't come across a stage? Maybe that's something I mess around with off camera as well. But for now, because the playthrough is already as long as it is, let's get on with it. And we're looking for the 86th stage. Oh, what do you tell me? So, have you come to learn the secret truth of your current so-called costume, Sonic? Grr, I remember, yeah? You rotten rodent. Back when Dr. Wily and that egghead from your world tried to rewrite reality. You think I didn't remember that? I wouldn't have. If not for that screw-up of yours when you tried to set it right. Sorry, my pirate talk is not that great. Next to that, you plonked yourself into this world by mistake. Now we don't have a blue bomber, but a blue blur. And another thing too. Know that preppy princess cat pal or yours to stop setting me ship on fire. Preppy princess cat pal? It has to be referring to Blaze because Blaze is a cat and, well, she can use fire in some sense. So, we did 87th place last time, right? Yes. So we get to talk to you today. Kino Jampu. Oh, I have my costumes good enough. I hope my costume's good enough to impress the judges. I didn't have much to work with, but I got these sweet shoes. Of course, I don't have feet because I'm a mushroom, so they're staying on with duct tape and hope. Okay. Alright, Magnet Man, Element Man. I didn't feel like climbing that long ladder and took a shortcut, for I am Magneto, master of magnet. That said, I can't seem to get down. I blame that simulation down there. It must be making my magnetism too strong. Oh well, at least I don't have to worry about losing this helmet, even if it doesn't fit me. I know Mudman? Yep, great. Thanks, Element Man, sure. One day we'll understand you. What about if we say no? Oh, didn't like that. Really didn't like that. Oh, got angry. But yes, so Magnet Man is warning me about some magnetism that could be to do in the States. So let's see what we got. 86th place. Sparks and Sockets by an absolute loser. I feel like I recognize that name. With an overall score of 56.20. So 3 60s and 2 40s. Over half in design, over half in fun. Decent in creativity, decent in aesthetics. Oh dear. Oh dear. 5s and a 4 across the board for functionality. Now I'm worried. Oh, there's a skip teleporter. Oh, there's so a skip teleporter in here. There isn't one! Gotta go fast? Note from the Magma Free Dev team. This level was submitted with a bugged object that constantly makes the player moonwalk. Since it would severely alter the level from how it was judged, to fix it, the bug has been left in. What? Interesting. Well, we're only looking for one token here as well. Oh, I like how the background scrolls. I really like how the background scrolls. Oh yeah, that looks amazing. I already forgot the second part of the title. It was Sparks and something. That's a crystal, Joe. Equivalent. Okay. So that's a generator of sparks. Oh, you can fall through. Okay. Oh, come on. It just stopped. Yeah, look at it. There it is. There's the bug. Because I'm walking left, and suddenly I'm backwards. So, what caused this bug, I wonder? Is that a pit? I don't know. Hey, there it is again. Barrier Destroyer. Test out the new speed gear for the ultra low price of 0.00 baht. You are now authorized to use the speed gear. Failure to complete the test in time will teleport you back to the speed gear and require you to restart the section. Okay. Oh, it's... What was your name? I forgot, did it? But you've also got a new resprite. Hey, and fancy new attacks too. Yeah! Nice. Oh, I didn't expect you to do that. Oh, I thought we were going to the left, but sure. There's the moonwalk again. So, as long as the moonwalk doesn't mean that I'm sliding, then it's all okay here. Ah. Oh, okay, it's happening. I tried to turn to the left and I was facing right the entire time. There it is. That's why it can be a bit of a bug. Oh god, what's going on here? Barrier destruction complete. Okay. There's the token, huh? Why can I... Okay. I mean... The only solution I see here is... Well... that. Unless you can just... Oh, never mind. I didn't need to do that, I see. Whoops! Got the token, so all that's left now is finding the element. Okay, what's going on here? Barrier destruction complete. So when you talk to the text box, you have to talk to progress the stage. Okay, this is... Why do you sometimes trigger? Oh, I'm so not making it. Oh wait. That's just... Nice jump. The sudden speed change. I just was too slow. Oh, I'm back to here again. But the barrier's destroyed already, so... Both stay destroyed. Even after dying. Good to know. Oh, I accidentally defeated the other enemy. Okay. I'm not used to switching to Thunder Beam, so I have to press the change weapon button a few more times than normal. It's usually just Laser Strike and I switch to hold to defeat piercing enemies. But here I have to hit it quite a few times because spines just won't be defeated that easily. Oh! I didn't make that jump? Well... Damn. I thought I was gonna make it, but clearly not. This moonwalk is so bizarre. Why is it happening? I really don't know. That's the weirdest thing though. Alright. Moving on. Alright, what kind of jump do we have to do with? What in the world? I see. Why is there a gap here? Why is there a gap? Curiosity! Curiosity! Has to know. I guess nothing. And backwards again. Wickman! What are you doing here? My sense of pride was broken after I was defeated. After hearing a rumor about a device Wiley worked on which increased the speed of robots dramatically, I took up the opportunity to find and upgrade myself a bit, so I could become even faster. I doubt you could even impact me with a single shot while using this. And God, Sonic. Oh gosh. So how fast are you, Quickman? Oh, so... Is the first part of the fight just dodging? I mean, you have some really cool moves. And your pattern is relatively fixed, it seems. Oh! Now you're getting fancy, now there's two of you. The question is this going to be it for the battle, or... Oh, I think I just did the invulnerability slide. Ooh. Okay. So this is an avoidance battle. You don't actually fight the boss, you just need to survive. And I still have the speed up. Yes, because I have a trail behind me. That normally doesn't happen. Okay. That was a stage. That was certainly a stage with a gimmick at play. Not a too difficult or... Not a stage that goes far out of its way to really take the concept to something never seen before, but hey, it works. So what's with the functionality? Why is it lacking? Is it just because the moonwalk? Anyway, let's see what our judge is for. Mick, 48. I wish I liked this level, really. It has a lot of good stuff to it. The speed gear segments are fun and distinct. A good reference to Mega Man 11. The Sparkwave and Gary Obi sections are an excellent breather. Barrier Destroy is a cute mechanic. The level's design intent is solid. The custom enemies are entertaining to deal with. The bosses are also fine. Combiloid is always a threat, a treat, and I enjoy the electric twist he gets. Meanwhile, Speed Gear Quickman is one of the best survival bosses I've fought in a while. If that's all there was to the level, it would be great. However, something about the level completely breaks Mega Man's movement. I have no idea what, but something forces him to face specific directions at several intervals. This makes some enemies nigh undodgeable since you can't slide backwards. Oh. And it makes the level extremely awkward to play since I never know when something will force me to moonwalk. I want to like this place as there's a lot of cool stuff in here, but whatever it was that broke comes at a massive cost, completely derailing this place. It's not broken to the point of being unplayable, but broken is broken, and I'll call it what it is. Shin 45. I was really struggling to review this stage for the longest time. Not because I had trouble forming an opinion on it, but because my first time through it, I honestly couldn't tell whether or not certain things were intentional or technical oversights, of which the level has several. No matter what way you look at it, though, the stage is very unstable, from suddenly moonwalking for no reason to a hard crash at one point after picking up the second speed gear. These significantly impacted my enjoyment with this stage, which is a bit of a shame, since it would otherwise be a pretty decent, if slightly generic stage. When it wants to work, the platform in here can be fun. The token challenge in particular is really nicely laid out, and I kind of wish there were more moments like that throughout the stage level. As for the speed gear sections, I'm honestly not the biggest fan of these. Besides there only being 3 of them, you can mostly ignore the timer and breeze through these segments with minimum effort. For the second one, however, I feel like I must be missing something here, because I have no idea how you're meant to get to the next room without dying, at least without using magnet beam. It definitely seems like there should have been something else in that room to help you get to the exit after picking up the speed gear, given how wide open it is. Thankfully the stage ends on a more positive note with the Quickman endurance battle. I like the idea of outlasting him while both he and player have access to speed gear, though it can be a little hectic towards the end once he spawns a copy of himself. That aside, I think that fight ultimately did help the stage out quite a bit, though not really enough to offset the prior issues and bugs mentioned before. If those were fixed up, I could see this turning out to be a fantastic level. Matchy 63. Mach 5 but not quite. This feels more like an experimental stage with the not so frequent use of the speed gear and the weird signs that remove barrier blocks. Not sure what's with the moonwalking location. It seems to just kick in without warning. Doesn't feel like an intended behaviour. It's neat, I guess, with a few times that you can get to play with the speed gear, but the buggy behaviour does make going through the stage really awkward and somewhat unintuitive. I do like the tile set used here, pretty well drawn, though I don't know if I entirely agree about making everything the same tone of blue. There was kind of a fight at the end, if you can call it that, with the ultra speed upgraded Quickman who is invulnerable but also has his health drained constantly. More of an endurance fight, not too bad as a concept, I guess. And that summarizes the stage pretty nicely. It's all a proof of concept. Flashman 64. Bizarre design decision, a messy challenge progression, and incredible playtesting oversights short circuit what could have been an electrifying level. The beginning of my first playthrough was a disaster. Dropping in from the ceiling with a checkpoint reach notification and being thrown into challenges that feel more appropriate for the middle of a challenge arc. I was convinced I had somehow missed the first part of the level. My mistrust of the level's stability was reinforced by Mega Man spontaneously moonwalking. And unlike the Mega Man 2 Game Genie code I love so much, the unpredictability and functional inconsistencies of suddenly facing the other direction are irritatingly disruptive. Pass-through platforms threw me off. I like the idea of having different types that are only solid for specific objects, but they go from noteworthy gimmick to basically irrelevant after just one screen. It wasn't long before I encountered my first speed gear, which I was excited to find. My excitement perished in a bottomless pit and half-second later. Please take the time to develop new concepts in a gradual fashion. There's a lot I like, but many of the good points come with caveats. The graphics are polished and professional. I just wish the spikes were a different colour, so they popped more. The music fits, but the main theme is repetitive and the boss theme should have been a jazzed up remix / cover to fit the feel of the fight. The boss fight is interesting, but maybe a smidge too difficult. And I wish the cutscene displayed Quickman's portrait showed you receiving a speed git and didn't repeat on a retry. I could nitpick the architecture and skippable speed gears, but I should conclude with what this level does right. Appropriate length, great checkpoint placement, cohesive theming, a meaningful mini-boss, and lots of good ideas that translate well into tricky platforming, with an occasional puzzle bent that I greatly enjoy. An ace, 61. Ouch! So something went wrong here, didn't it? The player's direction and ability to slide get locked at sheer random, making the entire affair a confusing one. But that said, I think there's a good level under all this garbage fire of a code blunder. Since even with it being barely playable at times, I still rather enjoyed it when it worked. And wish there was just more of it, with more elaborate setups, especially the gear gimmick. So cool, so underutilized. I am guessing this is what broke the level? Even then, I didn't encounter softlock, which I guess is a lucky break. Other positives here. It's a nice looking level, somewhat generic but still very nice. I think the added details and reworked death kit enemies help it out nicely. It's a shame the music was just honestly pretty annoying, especially early in the loop. And whilst it's all well drawn, certain situations like jump through or fall through platforms are incredibly hard to parse due to how they're designed. The mechanics are taught well enough too, which is good. You don't want to make things even more confusing. I am not too fond of the Biribari reworked Mega Man 5 Game Boy humanoid electric enemy, mostly due to him being positioned in some rather obnoxious positions. But the real irritant here is probably Garyobi, the almost invulnerable buzzsaw. There are definitely times, especially fighting the controls, where these gits are just too in the way. Even during the speed segment, there's little room to maneuver around them. That said, the other little challenges gel and using the projectile of Billy Spark, another Mega Man 5 Game Boy Electric enemy, one of those obvious in hindsight that I am surprised I didn't see it more often in the contest. The Quickman fight started strong. I don't mind the idea of waiting him out instead of blasting him, and it's a nice call back to his weakness in Mega Man 2. But in the end got rather messy. It's super easy to desync the twin Quickmen by just standing in the wrong place. And what was once obvious tails becomes too little when you have to split your attention between two of the brats. I think my main issue with the stage, outside of the obvious incredibly held together with tape nature of it, is that it really didn't feel like it built up to anything. The final room was so easy and sure that running into the boss door felt way too soon. I can feel that. I suppose this stage went for the speed gimmick as its main core function, but as one of the judges said, there was only 3 of those, and the very final one was a super short room with 2 or 3 jumps, and then suddenly the boss appeared with a huge spam of nuts and bolts. So it felt like I said, maybe the stage didn't really push the gimmick to what it could have. Like I said before before the judge commentary, this is a fine stage. It flows and plays well, but it doesn't do anything groundbreaking that I'm going to specifically remember. It didn't have any puzzles or rooms that wowed me with the creativity and the originality of utilizing the gimmick at hand. So it's not a bad stage. It's a relatively playable and decent stage, but it's not one that will be ultimately too memorable amongst so many other entries. Nonetheless, it's a good stage, so good stuff on that. And with that said, I'm going to take a quick refreshing pause and I'll be right back.